Hello friends, this is the day that I set off for a long solo motorcycle ride from Ooty in Tamil Nadu. My destination is Mumbai. On the way, I visited about 20 different tourist destinations in Karnataka and Maharashtra. If you have seen my previous vlog, the one before this, I have given an introduction to this long solo ride tour which I did in June 2019. I will give a link to that video just about here, and that video has a glimpse of all the places that I visited in this tour. So that was like an introduction to this entire tour, and this video is the first part of that tour. In this, I'm going from Ooty to reach Madikeri in Karnataka. It lies on the western Ghats, the Sahyadri mountain ranges. The riding distance from Ooty to Madikeri is about 230 kilometers, and I went through places like Masinagudi Mudumalai Tiger Reserve, the Bandipur Forest, then Gundlupet. From Gundlupet, instead of going to Mysore, I took a left turn from a place called Begur. And that road goes through places like Kotte, Hunsur to reach Madikeri. I didn't reach proper Madikeri on the first day because I started this ride. I started from Ooty only towards the noon, and I reached a place called Kushalnagar because I wanted to visit the Tibetan monastery and a golden temple over there. This place is almost the outskirts of Ooty, and this is a junction. If you take a left from here, you reach Gundlupet, and that road then goes to Kerala. But I wanted to go to Karnataka, in the direction of Karnataka, so I took this road, and this road goes through Masinagudi, one of the upcoming tourist destinations. This is the easiest route to get to Karnataka. You can go through the other route as well, that is the one which went left from the junction. That goes through Gundlupet, and that is the main road. That is the road taken by most of the heavy vehicles like the buses, the tourist buses, the lorries, trucks and all, and some of the other heavy vehicles like cars. But this road is very picturesque. It is very beautiful. It is also slightly complicated as it has about 36 hairpin bends. Now this is the start of this climb down from the hill, and this place is very beautiful. This is kind of a viewpoint, an upcoming viewpoint. From here you get a good view of the valley, the Mudumalai Tiger Reserve, the Bandipur Forest area. This is kind of start of the ride. From here the ride gets slightly more adventurous because of the road conditions. The road is slightly narrow, and that is the reason why a lot of the heavy vehicles prefer the alternate route, and also because some of the hairpin bends are a bit difficult to negotiate for the long heavy vehicles like buses. So that is the reason why they avoid these roads. But this route is, I would say, the most preferred one for the bikers, the two-wheelers, and also the four-wheelers, the cars. At the same time as being adventurous, this road is also slightly dangerous. So you need good riding skills to go through this road. Most of the heavy vehicles, the four-wheelers, have to go through this in second gear in most of the parts because there are steep downhill areas. This location is the top of the hill, places lying near to Ooty, and is more populated. There are agricultural fields, cultivations, and a lot of hotels and resorts at these places. If you go slightly down, the forest area starts, and that is the beauty, and there starts the beauty of the place. I have gone through this road for about 5 or 6 times in the past, and that was before I started this vlogging. And at that time, and even now, those were like few years back, even now the road is fantastically maintained. There are no potholes, at least when I'm riding, at least like when I was going through these roads, the road is very well maintained. And one reason is that there is not much traffic on this road. The reason for the less traffic is because heavy vehicles are not coming, and also because this route is going through the Mudumalai Tiger Reserve and the Bandipur Forest areas, through which the traffic is limited at night. So there is no entry through those places at night, and that is the reason why a lot of traffic is less. So the traffic is only during the daytimes. And that could be one reason for the well-maintained road conditions. Even if there are some issues with this road, I think they take good measures to patch up the areas. Now this ride I'm doing towards the end of June, this is the 21st June 2019, and this is the season when Ooty tourist season is limited, or Ooty tourist season is during the March, April, May, times when it is summer, and this in June the schools have reopened, and so the traffic flow is limited. So the people coming from Karnataka, those people, this road is taken by the people coming from Karnataka, and very less people from over there comes to Ooty during this month. And that is the reason why once again the traffic is very less. Now let me say something about this ride. On this day, this is the first day of my ride, and all this is GoPro footage. The GoPro fitted on my helmet. So this day I did an experiment. I kind of experimented with an extra camera. That is the camera on my mobile phone. I put my mobile phone on a selfie stick and put it in the bag and hang the bag in front of me. So some of the footage, like this one, is from the mobile phone. What I wanted to do was to introduce some kind of an alternate view, a change in direction of view during this ride, because this route is very beautiful. So I wanted to capture the roadside much better than the GoPro, because on the GoPro it is fitted in a single direction, facing front, facing the road, facing my the front side. So I wanted to have the viewpoints on the sides of the road, and that is the reason why I did this experiment, but it was kind of flop. The footage which I captured on the mobile phone, which was always on during this entire ride, by the way, the GoPro was also on during this entire ride. The footage I captured on the mobile phone came out with a lot of jerk, a lot of vibration, almost completely unusable, like this one. But I managed to salvage about 10% of the entire footage, like it was about 1 hour or more than that. And I managed to get about 10 minutes of video, bits and pieces from here and there, and I've introduced in this edited vlog. Now, as I said, my GoPro was also on during the full period from the start of the downhill area on this route. But I have not put all the video clips, and I have not put the entire video clip. I have done a lot of editing in this video, and I've only put the very beautiful places like negotiating the hairpin bends. Some of the footage from the mobile phone video was also introduced because it provided a different viewpoint, a view from a different angle of the places. But as I said, most of it was unused. This one is from the mobile phone. The mobile phone camera is more manageable because it is more maneuverable. You can take it out, you can point it in any direction. But the camera or the video quality from the mobile phone is not very good. The reason is that it is not an action camera like the GoPro, and all the vibrations and jerk during this ride is easily felt. What I'm trying to say here is that I've done a lot of editing for this vlog to make it more interesting, more viewable, and I hope you like it. The other thing is that I didn't stop at any place during this entire ride. Like, I stopped and I got out from my bike only for about 3 or 4 times, and that too when the place was so beautiful that I had to get down. Other than that, I didn't go to any kind of tourist place, or I didn't capture anything apart from what was on the roadside. So this is me just trying to reach Madikeri and to start the tour from that place. So this is entirely a ride video. From here, it is mostly kind of forest areas, the road twisting and turning, going downhill. And my impressions about this route is that you get to enjoy the place much better when you're climbing up rather than climbing down. The reason is that it's perhaps my impression. When you go down, your control of the bike is more on the brakes and on the gear. When you're climbing up, you get the much better control with the accelerator and the gears. I'm not sure if that is the experience with others, but for me, I get more control of the vehicle when it is powering up, when I'm accelerating, or when I have control over the speed. When you're going downhill, you lose control of your speed because you are mostly on the brakes and trying to limit the speed. Because the variations in the downhill conditions, the steepness of the road varies, and you have to constantly alter your speed by changing the gears, by applying more brakes. Anyway, some of the sections on this route is slightly more dangerous, and previously when I was coming through here, like at least about 2 times I've seen major accidents. One was when a jeep went completely downhill from the ridge, and I think though it was a huge accident. The other one was a head-on collision on a bend. So this place, while it gives an adventurous experience, is slightly more dangerous than maybe other places, but that is the thing which gives the adventurous feeling. This entire route has a lot of scenic points, a lot of viewpoints, selfie points to take the photographs, selfies. And that is irrespective of the weather conditions. That is, in spite of it being summer or winter. Now this is almost the end of summer. It has not rained till now while I was going through this place. So this place is experiencing almost the highest season or the peak season of the summer condition. But in spite of that, almost all these places are green covered. If you go more downhill, like when you reach Mudumalai Tiger Reserve and to Bandipur Forest areas, those are places where you find, in spite of it being a forest, much more drier conditions, especially in summer, not during the winter. But here, all these places are almost always looking the same way, not much difference irrespective of the climatic conditions. Now, while you watch the beauty of these places, let me just give you an introduction to this tour. I started this tour towards the end of June because I specifically wanted to go for a monsoon ride. I've done monsoon rides in the past, like riding in the rain in the past, like long rides, not just like going from one place to another and coming back, but longer rides. And this is one such ride where I am intending to go through the Western Ghat areas where there are a lot of waterfalls. And once the rain starts, and in the middle of the rain, that is the time period when you have to go to these places, because that is the time when you get to see the might of those waterfalls, because the rain comes and there is a lot of water immediately gushing through these rivers, and that gives you the majestic experience of those waterfalls. So I was waiting for the rains to start in 2019, and in this year, in 2019, the rains started a bit late. Usually in Kerala, that is my home place, the rains start somewhere to the early parts of June, or at least during the middle of June. But in 2019, the rain started only towards the end, and about 2 or 3 days back, it was raining in Kerala. And I'm hoping that the monsoon clouds will move further north towards the Karnataka region. And so that is the reason why I've started this ride towards the end of June, like this is the 21st or the 22nd of June. It has not yet rained at these places or even in Ooty while I started. So my idea was to get to the Western Ghats while the rain starts and to start my ride from over there. That is the reason why this is a continuous ride for me up till Madikeri. Usually I do not do such a very long rides on a day. My usual riding style is to go very slow, just covering about under 200 kilometers a day because I stop at a lot of places. Now this day I've started towards the middle or towards the noon time, and I have to cover about 200 kilometers to reach somewhere close to Madikeri, somewhere close to the Western Ghat region. Karnataka's Western Ghat region is much more beautiful than in Kerala, because in Kerala what I felt is that most of these Western Ghat areas are more populated. There is a lot of cultivation, there is a lot of people activity over there in the form of tourism, other businesses and so on. But in Karnataka there are a lot of places where it is still virgin. It is still like national parks, like the Kudramukh National Park, which is restricted, and similarly a lot of other restricted places. And over on those routes, if you are going through the Western Ghat region itself, you get to see a lot of waterfalls, and very less known waterfalls, like very limited number of people go there, very less tourism activity and very less contaminated, polluted, and so looking very beautiful. So if you're going during the rains or just after the rains, you get to see the exact might of that waterfall. One clear example would be Jog Falls, which is I think the second largest waterfall or the second highest waterfall in India. If you go there during the summer, you get to see a speck of water, like very tiny droplets of water, and you have to see it from a long distance away. You cannot go near it. So you see that with a very lot less water during the summer, but during the monsoon period or just after the monsoon period, because of the amount of water that is coming out through that, the might of that waterfall is much beautiful, much more visible, much more fantastic. Now just about this place, we have completed all the 36 hairpin bends and reached almost the flat terrain, flat plateau. Going forward, we reached the Mudumalai Tiger Reserve. To continue about my tour, I reached Madikeri on the second day, that is not today. Today I reached a place called Kushalnagar, and I stopped there because I wanted to visit a Tibetan settlement and a monastery and a temple over there. That is a very famous one. It is kind of considered as a golden temple. Okay, and here starts the wildlife of the forest reserve. So this is one example of the wildlife that you can see almost throughout this road. But going forward on this ride, on this time, or rather this time, I was lucky enough to see a lot of wild animals on the road. Monkeys you can see everywhere, and that is not just in the jungle areas, then the forest areas. And they are becoming increasingly friendly over the years. But the other wild animals like elephants, deer, bear and all that is a bit difficult to see while going through this road. And as I said before, I've gone through this road about 5 or 6 times. My experience is that if you go through this route, that is the Mudumalai Forest area, the Tiger Reserve, and the Bandipur Forest area, during the morning period or towards the evening, you are much more likely to see those animals, mostly the elephants. You get to see peacocks, then herds of deer, bear, and all these wild animals. There is of course the jungle safari through those places, but if you're going through that place during the noon time, you are much less likely to see the animals. And this day I started from Ooty towards the afternoon, towards the noon time, and I'm reaching this is the Mudumalai Tiger Reserve area. So here I'm reaching towards the evening, and I was a bit lucky I think this time, because I was able to see an elephant very close to the road. Not just the elephant, an elephant and its calf, and it's just about here on the left side. So this is the first time that I'm seeing an elephant much more closer to the road. It's probably because this is the time of the day, that is towards the evening. And not just this one, going forward I saw several, like 2 or 3 times herds of elephants. Probably that is more domesticated. They are I think near to the Bandipur Forest area, but also herds of deer and other wild animals, and I saw just once a peacock that was a bit far away. So if any of you are planning to come through this route, my advice would be to plan your journey so that you reach this place either to the morning period or to the evening period, and that is the most likely time you get to see the animals. Now this is a junction. From here towards the left you get to Gundlupet. From there you can go to Kerala and also Ooty. But from towards the right you go to the Karnataka region, and here is the herd of deer. And this is also the first time that I've seen a pack of deer so close to the road, and it's probably because it is to the evening. I was already getting a good feeling about this ride, and it is not just this once that I saw the pack of deers. Going forward, I think I saw at least about 2 or 3 times a bunch of these beauties, and especially with the elephant, the one which I saw before, the elephant and its calf. I think it is much more better if you do not approach them, or you just go past them by not stopping, because we do not know for sure if the elephant is wild or is it kind of dangerous and all that. But not so with the case of deer, I think. So this is already turning out to be a start of a good ride, I'm hoping. And just to continue from where I left off, I reached Kushalnagar just before Madikeri to the end of the day. And the next day I went to see the Golden Temple, the Tibetan settlement and the monastery. It was very beautiful. From there I went to Madikeri. I reached Madikeri on the same day, and as expected it started raining. If you see to the horizon, it's already looking like it's going to rain today. and it is from Madikeri that I am actually starting this monsoon ride. So here on this day there was no rain, but it was kind of start of my ride. But my actual monsoon ride is getting started after I reached Madikeri. From Madikeri I went towards the northern side, not to the Coorg area, which is also very beautiful. And the main thing is that on the route you get to see a lot of waterfalls. Now this route I have reached just after Gundlupet to Begur, and I've taken a left turn. So I have left the Mysore road and I'm now going towards the northwestern direction, in the northwestern direction. So this road goes through Kotte, then to Hunsur and to the Madikeri road. From Madikeri, to give a very brief account of my ride, I went to Sakleshpura, then to Dharamsthala, Sringeri, Hornadu and Kudramukh National Park, which is all on the Western Ghats. From there I went to see the Karkala Gomateshwara statue, which is actually lying west of the Western Ghats. Then from there I went to Shimoga, then to Jog Falls, and from there I took a redirection. I just took a break from the Western Ghats monsoon ride to reach Hampi. Okay, now this place is the Nugu Reservoir. It is a very small dam and a reservoir and a power project over here. You can see, you cannot go to the dam site itself. You can see the dam from a bit distance away. This is a small dam and a reservoir. So this is one of the few things to see on this road. Nothing else apart from that Tibetan settlement if you go further. But if you take a redirection, that is if you go to the internal roads and not just stick to the main road, you are likely to get other things like other attractions like the Kabini River, the Kaveri River, the start of those rivers and the lakes. So those are the places you can get to see on these roads. But as I said, I didn't stop anywhere. I just rode past all of those because I wanted to reach Madikeri or to the Western Ghat regions when it started to rain. Now this place I think is Hunsur, and I'm just passing Hunsur. And the other thing to see on this road is the Tibetan settlement. That place is called Bylakoppe, and there is a Tibetan monastery and also a golden temple. So this is more near to Kushalnagar towards the end of my today's ride. And so just about here I'm going to stop this video vlog. I hope you liked it. I have done a lot of editing in this video and I've deleted out all the boring bits and pieces. So I'm hoping you like it. If you liked it, just hit that like button. And also, as everybody says, try and support me by subscribing to my channel. So these are the places I went to on the next day. This is Madikeri, and you can see all those videos, all these places in my next future vlogs, future videos that I'm going to upload. Thank you for watching this till the end of this vlog, and before you go, just let me give you an idea of the coming up video. My next video vlog is going to be about my ride to Madikeri, the places I visited there, like the Golden Temple and some of the few waterfalls. So that is going to be in my next video. I'll just give a link to my next video just about here. And once again, finally, try to subscribe to my channel, and thank you.